Hi, everybody. It's a Wee Bit of Alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. Today, we're going to do something fun. Um, we're going to do some coiling exercises and something that I used to do like 35 years ago to rehabilitate my shoulders and to develop, the chi in the upper body and the hands and stuff. And recently it kind of aggravated a shoulder injury and I said, hey, I'll dust those things off. I haven't done them in a while. And so we're going to do this. We learned it from Dr. Jwing-ming uh, way back when. And so we're going to include some of the elements that we've been discussing lately and kind of crank the energy up to 11, by doing this. So when I first learned it, it was before I discovered, the idea of the three pillars and getting those integrated, and by incorporating that those ideas into the exercises, we are able to get a whole lot more bang for the buck from these simple movements. So first thing I want to discuss is something Maria brought up, and that is the idea of reaching and how important that is to an exercise like that. And when we talk about reaching, we're not talking about just extension, because a lot of people talk about, extension as an important part of your martial arts. And that's kind of a neutral term, which is fine, but it doesn't include some of the qualities that are expressed by the concept of reaching. So just to be clear, like we're distinguishing between reaching and pushing. So there's you can push something, and that is you're trying to create space between yourself and the thing that is being pushed. So you're saying, get away from me. That's the intention behind a push. It's like, get away. Whereas reaching is the opposite intention. That is, I'm extending in order to connect. So it sets up an entirely different um, internal configuration. Whenever I'm pushing, there's a tendency to move toward your um, localized muscular effort. Whereas when you're reaching, there is a quality there of extension, but it's with you're activating the tensegrity of your connective tissue system, your living matrix, and that turns on the system. So whenever I reach, I'm I'm opening up and gently stretching my connective tissue when I do that. When that happens, it activates the tensegrity. The tensegrity is the tensile strength that comes from your connective tissue. And so whenever that happens, it's sort of like tuning a guitar. Whenever the guitar string is limp, there's no tension in it at all. You pluck the string and you just get like a thud, if anything, on that. It's not carrying the vibrations through the instrument to produce a pleasing sound. So you tune it by tightening the string so it stretches out, and you by doing that you create this thing which carries the vibrations throughout the whole, through the whole guitar, say, or violin or whatever. So it pulls that tight, and then you're able to then create a resonance within the entire instrument. And it's a similar idea here with tensegrity. You tune your body by reaching and lengthening your connective tissue so that you go into tune. And when that happens, the connective tissue then carries energy and information instantaneously throughout your body. So that if, let's say, I'm reaching out and I just rotate my arm like this, my forearm like that, that sends a signal instantly throughout my whole body. And my entire system recalibrates to include that new position and the motion. So there's this it's like a supercomputer, like a quantum computer. It's happening almost at the speed of light. There's everything throughout your whole body connects up whenever you do that, and this allows us to get some of the really interesting, curious, and fantastic phenomena that we can get from something like Tai Chi Chuan. That if we, first of all, relax our muscular tension, and then we lengthen our connective tissue, then there's energy and information travels very fast through the whole system. The other quality there that's sort of happening on a substantial level, that is you're stretching your connective tissue. When you reach, there's also something that's happening at an insubstantial level, and that is you're creating this yang intention. That means that there is an extension or an opening. You're reaching out, and that is a yang impulse. And so you're going from your center, you're placing this intention in your body, plus this awareness in your body that there is this connection here from your center to this distal point, and with that, there's more energy that travels along the system. So the exercise that we're going to do, when I did them originally, they were done more on a crude muscular level. You're rotating your arm like that. And it was cool, and it definitely did some good. But whenever we add this other element to it, then it amplifies the chi considerably. And for those of us who have had shoulder issues throughout the years, rotator cuff or whatever, if you've had shoulder surgery or whatever, this is a great way to gently rehabilitate your shoulder joints so that you can relax them more and be able to express yourself through your arms a whole lot easier and more efficiently than whenever when you're doing it compensating for the traumas maybe that you've experienced in your shoulders and tensing up your muscles as a result. So we're going to include that, and then we're going to include some of the stuff we've done lately with the central equilibrium, including the medial line and the three nails, where we have remember we have the three nails, William Chen's three nails, where you have along the medial line of the foot, that is the inside of the foot, you have your first nails here on the inside of the heel, then you have the ball of the foot, and then the big toe. And the heel, if we center over the heel, that creates this yin quality. The energy is in and down, and that grounds the energy and it connects up with the earth chi. And then whenever we move into the yang expression, that outward movement, then we contact the ball of the foot, which then activate this yang impulse, and then finish it off with pressing down a little lightly with the big toe. So we're coordinating our arm finger motions with our feet. So we're creating this awareness, and we're doing it with an awareness of the yin and yang of these movements. And so by doing this, you then are making these associations, these yin and yang associations, they really become part of you, and it requires less thought, less preparation, the more you do them. And so then it just becomes, eventually you get it so that it's instantaneous. You make these connections, and you're suddenly able to crank up your chi, in less than a second. Boom, it's there. So but we have to lay the foundation. So let's stand up, and we're going to explore these coiling exercises and incorporating reaching and central equilibrium. My feet, there we go. Okay, so let's begin by getting our 3 pillars established. Let's take a step out of hip width, and nice and relaxed. Your knees are unlocked, and feel your weight over in your heels in that first ball, the one on the inside of your foot. So we're concentrating on the medial line. You know, our lower dantian down here is on our center line. So we want to support that by having our weight more medial, more toward the center. If we push it toward the outside, then we lose contact with that medial line, and it compromises our chi flow and our stability. So by feeling that central equilibrium, that medial line there, feeling that centered, we can then get support from our base, starting at the feet. So feel that. Knees are unlocked. And reach with the crown of your head, tucking your chin. So we're extending upward. In this way, we're accessing the yang qi of the heavens and sink down through our feet into the earth, and we're getting the yin qi of the earth that way. This way, we're opening to the big qi. So we're no longer limited. We're not a closed system where we're just limited to the energy inside our bodies, but we're actually plugging into the big qi. And whenever you're tucking your chin, reach with the crown, you're opening up the jade pillow gate at the back of your, where your neck meets your head, that suboccipital ridge. And so opening that then allows the energy to move up, allows your spirit to rise into your brain, into the center of your brain. That spirit of vitality, your Jing-shen, rises, and that fills your whole body with vitality. Point and reach with your index fingers and feel that energetic connection that occurs. You're enhancing your state of energetic coherence, but you're also, by pointing and reaching, you're activating that tensegrity as well. You're plugging into the connective tissue system and creating that tuning effect that I was referring to earlier. Reach with your elbows a little bit so your arms are slightly rounded. Your arms are still hanging. They're still very loose, but there's a slight roundedness, and this opens up your shoulder joints. Feel into your hands and notice that you're creating a chi flow there. Your hands start to tingle, vibrate, get a sense of fullness there. And go to the balls of your feet now. Just allow that yang qi to kind of pump up the system. And then we're going to open up the qua. We're going to get sung qua. Sung meaning relaxing into your structure. Do that by setting the ball of the left foot, set the knee, and then spiral down to the left. And then set the right heel, right ball, and spiral down to the right. So we're just loosening, opening, returning the body very gently, not forcing anything, opening up the hip joints. That's our 3 pillars: our central equilibrium, energetic coherence, and we're unkinking the hose. We do that at the neck, at the hip joints, the shoulders, and doing so opens up all kinds of places around their body once you start letting go. Once you have your structure in place, it becomes easier to just let go of tension. So when we talk about the three nails, then we're going to go from yin in the heel to yang in the ball of the foot to more yang in the toe. And the toe just so the toe and the ball are kind of working together. And then we go back to the heel again. And we're going to coordinate the breath with that too. We exhale on the yin. So as we go into heel, we exhale and go into the ball. Inhale, big toe, inhale. And then exhale back into the heel. So that's yin. And then the ball of the foot, yang, inhale, and toe, inhale, and then back to the heel. So that's our basic pattern there. We're coordinating that with our yang extensions and yin, where the energy goes in and down. So if I lift my arms up like this, that's a yang impulse, and so I'm going to go into the balls of my feet, press down with the big toe, and then I sink in the heel and press down, exhale, and feel that yin relaxing. And for these exercises, when the palms are down, that's yin. When the palms are up, that's yang. So we're coordinating all these things. Don't worry, I'm just going to talk you through this. You don't have to think too much about it. And you can review the video later if you like, but you'll get the hang of it pretty soon. So let's begin. So the first thing you're going to do is exhale, sink into your heels, then go into the balls of your feet and reach with your wrists, raise your fingers. You see your arms are nice and relaxed, they're very loose, but you're also reaching out with the fingers. And so we're creating that gentle pull on the connective tissue system. And we're in the balls of the feet, pressing down with the toe. So now we're going to sink into the heels, keep the palms down. So this is our yin posture. We exhale into the balls of the feet and rotate. Reach forward with the fingers, rotate palms up, press down with the big toe. Inhale. And then heels and exhale, rotate back. So whenever we rotate back, there's a relaxation, there's a kind of a gentle withdrawal, because we're going to go to the balls of the feet, inhale and reach, extend. When you extend like that, you want to open up your back too. You want to feel the space between your shoulder blades opening up, and then you sink and yin. And inhale, yang, ball, toe. Exhale, yin, heel. Inhale, reach, extend, open, and exhale, yin. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, ball, toe, reach. Feel those index fingers, and then exhale. And then inhale. And exhale. So this is yin. And now we're going to inhale, reach, open, and exhale. Go into your heels, sink down, and rotate your forearms. Pull your hands back. So we're yin now. We rotate palms down. And then inhale, extend, balls your feet, toe. Exhale, yin, heels. Inhale, ball, toe, point, reach, exhale. And inhale, and exhale. Yin and yang. And yin and yang. And yin. Hands come down, sink into your heels. So this is number 3 now. So inhale, rotate, hands come up. Ball, toe, exhale, heels, press down, in. Inhale, exhale, yin, yang, yin, in, yin, yang, exhale, yin, heels. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, breathe through your nose and deep into your belly, into your lower dantian as you do this. Good. Now, number 4. Inhale, yang, reach out, open your back, press out, in, heels, hands come down, exhale, inhale, ball, toe, reach, open, exhale. Inhale, yang, exhale, in. Inhale, ball, toe, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Pause a moment. Just feel. Reach with your elbows. Open your back. Feel those fingers. Feel your fingernails. Just feel that the yang that comes with that. And the ball, the toe, and then exhale. Inhale. Reach. Open. Yang. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Pause a moment. Feel into the yin. Yes. Sink into your heels. Feel yourself sinking down, getting very sung. Your shoulders are very relaxed. Your arms are relaxed. You're reaching with the crown of your head, but it's a gentle reach. So number 5, inhale, reach out, yang, and separate, open, yang, and exhale, yin. Inhale, yang, ball, toe, reach out and open. Feel them pulling apart. It's like you're rending the space. You feel the filaments of the space being pulled apart by your fingers. And exhale, yin. Inhale, yang. Open. And feel that the poles in opposition. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Yang, yang. Press down the toe. More yang. Yin. Feel that. Pause there. Just feel that opening. Relax your muscles and just feel the tensegrity of the system. And then exhale. Yin. Inhale. Yang. Exhale. Yin. And pause. And feel into the yin. Feel yourself sinking. Feel the energy going, cascading down your body, down your legs, through your feet, and into the earth. Feel yourself a conduit for this, for the big chi. Your body will only absorb as much as it needs, as it can handle. But each time we do this, it expands your tolerance for energy. Okay. Now, number 6. Inhale, pause. And exhale. And inhale. Actually, we're going to take this all the way up. And exhale. Sink into your heels, yin, yin, yin. And inhale. Balls. Press down with the toes. Press up. Feel that extension, that reaching upward, touching the sky. And then exhale. Yin, yin, yin. Sinking down. Reaching down through your feet, down into the earth. Inhale. And exhale. Yang. Yin. Yang. Feel that extension, that very yang expansion, and exhale. Yin sinking. Feel the contraction of yin coming in, gathering, and then yang extension, yang opening. And yin sinking. Yin. Yang. Yin. Sink into your heels and let that all go. Feel all that yang qi cascading down your body, down into the earth. Letting go. Dissolving. Bring your hands up to chest height. And then reach up. Yang with the ball toe pressing down. One hand reaching up with the other. And then back to center. Sink into your heels. Yin and yang. Feel those poles in opposition. Reaching, extending, feeling the tensegrity of the system, and then exhale, yin. Yang, inhale, reach. Exhale, yin. Yang. Yin. Yourself nice and relaxed, very soft, very soon in your yin. And then balls, toes, reach, inhale. Yang, feel that yang expansion and then let it go. And back to yin. Sink into the heels. And yang. And yin. And yang. Really feel that, feel the energy circulating throughout your whole body. And then exhale. Feel that disappearing down through your feet. And inhale, yang. And exhale, yin. Hands come down. Sink into your heels. Feel the yin. Let's come up to chest height. This time, we're going to we're going to rotate. We're going to turn. So reaching up and turn in the direction of your upper hand, reaching down, up, and this is the yang, and then exhale, yin, and yang, and yin, and yang, and yin, and yang, and yin, yang. Look up at your upper hand, reaching allow your spirit to follow your hand, your yang hand. And yin, heels, and yang, ball, toe, and yin. Hands come down. You feel the yin. Sink into your heels. Relax. Feel yourself very sung. Your arms are very relaxed. They're kind of just sort of hanging there, like they're unwinding. Okay, so now we're going to, this is number 9. Number 9, we're going to, hands come up. And this time, we turn, reach, and the lower hand goes behind your back and reaches down. Inhale, yang, and exhale, yin. And behind your back, yang. Yin, yang, and yin. Inhale, feel the ball of your foot, the big toe, and back to the heels. And we'll go back to the yin place. We're back, weight is in both feet. But then when we turn, you feel it in the substantial leg is the same thing as the substantial hand. So you're feeling in the big toe and the ball, and then back to the heels, yin, and yang, and yang. Reach, hold that, feel that extension, feel that reaching, and yin, and yang. Press down that the ball of the foot, the big toe, feel your fingers open and in. Hands come down. Feel the yin. Let your arm just hang very. Elbows out. Feel your fingers. Feel the chi circulating throughout your body. Keep reaching with the crown of your head, tucking your chin. Okay. And this one, next one, we're going to take a slightly wider stance. Just a slightly wider stance. And we're going to hands come up. And this one, we're going to turn and sink into the substantial leg, reaching behind us with the backhand, reaching forward, looking at the hand. Inhale yang, and then exhale yin. Rotate foot back, and then pivot on your other heel and reach out and extend. Yang, extend. Feel the big toes, the balls of your feet as you extend and open. And exhale yin. Sink and yang. Open. And yin. Yang, extension, open. And pivot back. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Feel those toes and yin. Yang. Yin. Sink in your heels. Pivot. Yang. Yin. Pivot. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Step in a little closer. Hip width. Hands come down. Sink in your heels. Relax. Feel the yin. Okay, last one. Yin, palms facing backward. All toes. Rotate your forearms so your palms face forward. Yang and yin. Back in the heels. Inhale, yang. Open your chest, open your shoulders. Exhale, yin. Rotate your arms, palms back. Inhale, yang. Exhale, yin. Yang. Open your chest, open your shoulders, really feel that expansion, and then exhale, yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Heels, yin, ball, toe, inhale, exhale. Last one. Sink into your heels. Feel the yin. Sink into your right heel. Step in. Bulge your feet, toes, young. Gather and heels. Throw it all away. Dissolve into the emptiness. Don't cling to anything. Your body, your blood, your energy, your breath, your mind, your thoughts. Throw it all away. Anybody? Thoughts, questions, comments, complaints? Valerie.
It'll never cease to amaze me, which is a good thing, of how much energy you can get moving by doing something just as simple as what we did, paying attention to, okay, yes, this is yang, yes, this is yin, not, you know, keeping tension out as much as possible, just reaching. Your explanation I thought was very eloquent. I think the first 7, I was ready to lay down on the floor. I almost did, honestly, I almost did. And then 8 and 9 started, I started coming back from just being, okay. Um, got a better handle on it. So yeah, just like I said, it just never ceases to amaze me that doing something, because it's pretty simple. I mean, if you just look at the external, it's not a
Right.
big deal, right? You're
Right.
just keeping your arms, you're just reaching. But when you put in those, the insubstantial component, it's just it's great.
Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, when you add the secret sauce and it transforms
It
transforms
makes
everything.
it it makes it worth the buck, right?
Right. Lynn.
I had a similar experience to Valerie in that in the first few, I was so relaxed. I was like, oh, I'm good. I could go to sleep. I was just everything felt so perfectly relaxed. And then the latter, I was able to then move in that relaxation, which I think really helped get the energy going. And it really felt like this was not like one of those, oh my God, I have so much energy. It was like, I am filled, and this was an incredible vitamin pill. It seems like this is just like something I could do every day to like keep my everything strong and healthy. Versus those things that you have like you're like whoa. This is like grounding.
Nice. Nick.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's interesting because I just feel like a lot of stuff opened. A lot of stuff just opened up, and uh, and it's quite pleasant with that. Yeah,
Yeah. Content.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharon, you had something.
I very much appreciated your pace and repetition. And it's that repetition that really helped to refine it for myself.
Great. Great. Thank you. Richard.
Um, that's about as good a Qigong as I've ever done.
Simple but juicy.
Juicy. Yeah.
Very much.
And for my shoulder rehab, I'm just about 50 years late. But
Yeah, me too. But
better late than never, right?
that's right. I'm back on the horse, and oh yeah, wow, yeah, because I did it until my shoulder was rehabbed, and then I stopped doing it and forgot about it for a couple of decades, and now it's like, oh yeah, yeah, this works. Okay, cool. Let's do it again. Dave, you had something. You're on mute, Dave. There you go.
Yeah. Um, I remember doing this either with you or with somebody years and years ago, and it was great to come back to it because it's easy for for me to do, and the energy, the difference between pushing and reaching is something that's very important for me to grok, and a huge difference. Yeah,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Wonderful. Rock away.
Rock, rock.
Rock. Rock and roll. Cool. Anybody else? Jonathan.
So once again, profound and simple. It's this sequential activation of the foot. That's you, right? I mean, I know William came up with the 3 nails, but they're nails and they're nailed in there. But so it seems to me then that I think we were talking about this too before, that walking is now completely revolutionized because it's yin yang yang, right? And that inside of the foot emphasis is really good too, right? Because we tend to do the other. But so it's like walk, you receive the earth energy, and then you take that earth energy that you've taken in, you sort of give back a little bit on the next yang yang of the ball and the toe, right?
Yeah.
Pretty freaking amazing. Okay.
Eloquently stated. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a real practical application of those 3 nails. Is like, most of us walk. And every
Right.
time you do that, every time you take a step, you have this opportunity to be very mindful of your connection with the earth and your connection throughout your body. And each one of those movements reverberates throughout the whole system. So your entire system is tuning into each of these mindful movements, and it's creating this symphony.
I mean, to have a relationship with your foot like that is just amazing, because we stick a sock on it and stick it in a shoe and kind of forget about it all day. It's just
This
so
wakes that all up.
wake that up from the inside. Even if you're
Right.
inside a sock, you can be like, have some life.
Yeah.
Careful.
Lynn.
Yeah, I actually used it today. I have an exercise class that I do, and we were doing a jump laterally, jump back, jump forward, jump laterally, like in a triangle, 1 foot, and you balance for like 2 seconds, balance for 2 seconds. And I just was like, a little wobbly, and then I'm like toe. And I just like, as I jump, I activate that toe. I'm stable, jump back, activate that toe, super stable. It was perfect. It was like, I was like, oh, I'm,
Practical application.
practical application of magical
Wonderful. It adds a grace to our movements when we can bring mindfulness to our feet.
Yes.
Keep you from falling over.
Good. Anybody else? Scott.
I really appreciate the focus on the breath tonight because I haven't really been focusing on that. So that really helped. And
It's
as
nice whenever you have a simple exercise like that where you can bring in, commands. You can bring attention to, what part of your foot are you using? What part, is it an inhale? Is it an exhale? What are you reaching? Are you contracting? What is your, what is the, what's going on there? And then it just lots of opportunities for highlighting these things.
mm. And then as Nick was saying, he felt more open, which that's kind of the same thing, which meant more room for chi, right? I
Yeah.
feel bigger. I definitely feel bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My whole body is having like this symphony going on. It's going zzz.
Mm.
They're everything's buzzing away, and like, okay, settle down, guys, settle down.
Well, it's kind of a perfect example of less is more.
Mm.
That just occurred to me that,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I agree with how Sharon, appreciated the tempo and the way, you mentioned the breath, all, the yin and the yang. It was very simple, but so powerful. So yet again, it brings more meaning to less is more.
Nice.
That was my philosophical statement for the
No,
evening.
that's a good summary there. I like that. Cool. Anybody else? Okay, thank you all so much. It's been really a lot of fun. Thank you,
Mhm.
producer.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Maria.
Love you
Love you
guys.
guys.
Thank
You
you,
guys.
Maria.
Oh,
Bye.
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Available
So,
on Amazon
on
for you
Amazon.
Sedona folk.
Coming in to see
Thanks
a
for the
chief
reminder.
Or
from
wherever you buy your
Oh,
books.
Denise Meyer.
Denise's
Wherever
book.
else you buy your
It
books.
is, it is out. Lots of Rick and lots of actually everybody. So it's like a Sedona gift or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great. Cool.
Great. Wonderful. I get that. Cool.
Bye,
Thank you
all.
all. Bye-bye.